in less than a week, Ardem is going to be releasing their very first playtest, which will be August the 31st. Now, for those of you who have been following the game, you know exactly why we're all pretty freaking excited to see this released. And as a DayZ player with over 6,000 hours, which may not seem like a lot compared to some of the greats, but it's still enough to know what I want to see and what I don't want to see in a survival game. Now, about 11 days ago, they released a video talking about the ins and outs and what they're actually doing to help their game stand apart from others, meaning like details and things that are going into the actual process, like making sure that clothing fits correctly, because you are going to be able to customize your character. It's not just going to be coming from a normal rotating screen like any other game would do. So I wanted to dive into this video that they just released and kind of see what exactly goes into the thought process. And plus, they actually decided to show a little bit of gameplay. So let's hop in. Let me know what you think.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ardem. Today I'd like to show a little bit of gameplay, mainly focused on the work that Nico has done from the previous work that you guys have given us, as well as show you where we are currently at as far as the new UI. Also, just a disclaimer,
Naked.
The reason the character is standing exposed is simply because we are working on morphing every piece of clothing item to specifically fit
There we go.
your created character. In other words, because we are introducing character creation to the game, it is important to make sure that every clothing item matches your character specifically, despite the shape or the size of your character that you will choose. Now, back to the topic.
Now, I've got to be honest. One of the very first
Previously
things that I'm curious about is if you're going to have one hitbox that if, like, say you're a larger character and your back or your shoulders exposed when you're trying to crouch down behind something, is that going to be in eyeline, or is it actually going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if it's actually going to be able to be shot if it's actually not exposed, you know? So hopefully that's addressed.
Spoke out and stated that the screen was overwhelming due to a lot of text pop-ups. So Nico stepped in and made sure that you only see one text at a time, which reduces the clutterness on the screen and allows you to focus on one thing at a time.
Very nice.
Some of this is still work in progress. For example, when you hold an item in your hands, some of the text gets trapped behind your character indicators. But of course, this will be fixed. Nico also worked on the clean interaction system. It works very simple. As you look at each individual object, it shows you what you can do with each individual object in the game. Also, as we open the inventory, you can now see icons for each of these items that you are holding. It gives you a full description of the item, and you can rotate each of these items individually. If you've played DayZ, this will feel right at home.
There you go.
Again, some of these things are not perfect. For example, your character still appears to be bald inside of your inventory, while in the game, you actually have hair.
It's
but
okay.
Again,
DayZ's 12 years old and still has
Remember,
issues.
if you would like to further support this project, all you have to do is just simply wishlist the game on Steam, and there you will also be able to request access to the playtest, which will allow you to join as soon as it is ready.
Which that's August 31st.
As promised,
if you haven't
every
done it,
single system
go
that we
into
implement is
Steam
designed to be supported
on their
with
page and
controller in
apply.
mind. It is still not quite ready yet, and it is still work in progress. However, prioritizing controller support early on
A light tower?
keeps us from backtracking later in development.
That's huge.
Thank you again for your support, and I will see you in the next video.
So I know he's about to go into a little bit more detail, but honestly, just from that little bit, I love it when a studio and developers actually like show you the thought process behind the game. Like, it's kind of how like Gray Zone with Madfinger and I mean really how they did it, and then even with Embark with Ark, I mean they let us behind the curtain of everything, of how everything was made, how the bots would be able to spot you, how the weapons work, everything like that. Like, I love being able to see the nuts and bolts of an actual game and see how their thought process, and even mentioning DayZ, that means that they have tons of time in DayZ, which we do know that the creators all are, you know, huge DayZ players. So yeah, this is, I mean, truly next Monday. This is being recorded on the 23rd, which is a Sunday. Next Monday, the 31st, this will be released for the very first playtest. Fingers crossed that we get picked to be able to go. And I don't know if we can stream it, but it'll probably be a reaction video prior to, because I think that they said that the first wave has to sign an NDA, which means that we probably won't be able to record. But let's see what else they have to say.
As we are slowly creating the world in Ardem, our goal is to think of not only the atmosphere of the survival game, but also the settings we will have to provide to a variety of different
Blair
players.
Witch Project, baby.
And
Let's
today,
go.
I will go in detail, one by one, and talk about all these different settings that will be available to all of our single players, completely offline.
Oh,
As
wow.
expected, those who don't like spending too much time customizing their game settings,
Wait, completely
especially
offline?
completely from scratch, we will provide preset options, choosing between realism, hardcore, or perhaps more relaxed experience. Now, if you don't mind spending that extra time and putting a bit more effort inside of your settings, your game will be transformed. You'll be able to enable permadeath, set perspective limitations for players, change day and night cycles, start times, day and night lengths, respawn limitations, sleep to morning or not, autosaves, enabled or disabled, number of autosaves, and how frequently do you want them to take place, inventory volume multiplier, start inventory presets, hunger, stamina, and thirst drain, health regeneration, bleeding severity.
All right, so the permadeath is very, very interesting because that almost means like these are offline settings, obviously, but like it's almost like how when I first started playing DayZ, I started playing PvE, and it was I mean, it kind of felt like because you had a lot of players around you and you had good teammates, they would hold your gear. So it was almost like you could still reset, but you just had to take that 15, 20, 30 minutes to run back to your body in order to get all your crap. And yeah, your shirt may be ruined. Shout out to Leaky Goat and Nitro. But yeah, that's interesting. That's a very interesting thing. Obviously, when you go online, it's not going to be, it'll be permadeath. But I wonder if there's going to be like different servers that are going to allow you to choose your difficulty and realism and things like that.
Diseases, whether they are enabled or disabled, as well as their chances. Zombie infections and their chances. Isolation and thermoregulation. Corpse despawn options. Fluid respawn and despawn options. Tool condition and degradation. Close spawn rate, condition, and degradation. Weapon condition and spawn rates. Food spoilage. Item cleanup settings. Generator spawns. Vehicle spawns, their conditions.
Oh, dude, that's so
inventory
sick.
multiplier,
Flatbed.
Vehicle fuel consumptions, their wear and tear system, zombie spawns, respawns, population, behavior attack damage, hearing range side, range smell, range attraction.
Smell?
Duration, locked houses, enabled or disabled, weather behavior.
Okay, now I know this sounds goofy, but like putting smell in the game almost makes it foolproof to where it's like, how did he see me? And it's like, oh, he didn't see me, he smelled me. So I that's cheeky. That's cheeky. I like it.
Tainted water, enabled or disabled, wildlife spawn and their attack damage, resource regeneration, crop growth times, water consumption, crop decay time, soil fertility, greenhouse effectiveness.
I mean,
now,
you
these
can
are only the settings that are already listed and waiting to get
and that's just the
implemented,
offline. It's
but
like
as
that's how
Ardem
customizable
evolves
this
into a bigger
is
project,
as an
don't be
offline
surprised
experience.
if this list expands a lot more.
Dude, that's
Hey
huge.
everyone, I wanted to take this moment today and talk to you directly about the playtest. Over the past few months, we've been telling you that the playtest is scheduled for the first quarter of 2026. And now that it is finally March, a lot of you have been asking questions. Hey man, what's going on with the playtest?
What?
We've seen your messages, we've seen your comments, and a lot of different speculations online. So we felt the need to come forward and clear up some things and be honest with this update. The truth is, as many of you already probably expected this, we have to delay the playtest.
Okay, so when I don't know when this actual video was released, but okay, so this is the announcement of the public playtest for the 31st. Okay, so I wonder if that gameplay footage was actually recently or not. So they probably adjusted a ton of stuff, actually. Ooh, the siren in the background, that makes it feel so freaking real. I do like the idea of keeping airdrops though, so that you're not. I mean, you can have the option of like, I'm completely alone in this world, or there's hope and we can escape. Hold, please. What weapon was that? Sound like an SK. That was like a M16. I'm really curious to see how and where they're going to be placing weapons, because like, if it's military is the only place you can find those types of weapons, or is it going to be like you've got a couple redneck shacks that are
the loot drop system in Ardem. We often play a lot of games these days where upon elimination, your character drops the loot. And then you as a player, you have to make your way back to that exact specific location in order to retrieve that loot. It's a very classic system. You truly can't really go wrong with that system. However, we as a development team, we want to try add a little bit of an immersive approach to it, add a little bit of color, if you will. And basically what I'm saying is, depending on how you get eliminated in Ardem, let's say your character dies from perhaps a zombie infection, and you fail to seek the proper treatment in time, your loot may not be there if you wait too long. In Ardem, when your character dies, or character's corpse turns into a zombie if it's a zombie infection. So at some point when you die in the game, you will be forced to seek the corpse of your previous character in order to retrieve the loot that you had at that
I really
point.
hope that
It's a
doesn't
very
throw off
cool
like
and
network.
very immersive system in my opinion, because you as a player, you're
But I mean,
on the time crunch. It's like it creates an extra challenge
if you're playing
for you as a
offline,
player,
then it
because
wouldn't
now
be an
you
issue.
kind of have to look around in that proximity and hope for the best to find your loot, because at some point that zombie is going to move from that point to another point, especially if there's other players in
Dude, that's crazy.
proximity
Imagine like
creating noise, creating
like
sounds,
2
and
or
they
3
just
weeks
get
pass
attracted to
when
that
you
sound.
died,
So
you
that's
find that
basically
Z.
a bigger picture for you guys.
I wonder if that stays alive, like even if you exit out of the game.
If there is a zombie with a heavy backpack and perhaps a rifle on his shoulders, chances are that at some point that was a player. So I can't overcomplicate it. It's pretty straightforward. I think it's a wonderful system, and I think it would be a
wonderful
breath of
system.
fresh air for a lot of players.
It is. I mean, and that's literally like some of the stuff that they did within DayZ on like extra servers.
My name is Lucas.
When this was released, then we're kind of in for a treat. All right, so there you have it. So August 31st is when this is going to be released. I'm very interested because now after watching that, I've seen a lot of stuff being released since when he said it was March that they did the reveal for the playtest, but this video was actually released about 11 days ago. So, I mean, I'm pumped to see exactly what the heck we're going to be seeing. A lot of the talk was offline. I know that obviously online is going to be the best thing for this game. I know that the map it's a little bit smaller than what Livonia is on DayZ. So I'm interested to see how many players they put on the server, how many servers they have, how they actually break down the difficulty between realism and kind of an arcadey type style. Because there's a lot of settings. And so it looks like it's going to turn out to be something very similar to all of the thousands of servers that we have on DayZ, providing a different experience. And then who knows, that might open up the modding community to be able to do what they want. And who knows, we may have, a zombie pirate apocalypse. I don't know, but I appreciate you guys. Hopefully we will be able to get access to this playtest. I will let you guys know. Be kind, stay friendly. Paradise loves you. We'll see you in the next one. Out.